5 on the evening. The SNES with the controller, the whole nine, and no more excuses, no more, I would have won if it wasn't for this. This is Jack's chance to prove Jack knows how to get it done. Meanwhile, ETGoHAM rejoining us after being a member of the tournament in, I believe, 3, 4, and 5, perhaps, and has been out for a couple. But back here this year, I reached out just to say, hey, you interested? And all of a sudden, after a week, no message back, just all of a sudden signed up and over the moon about it. Glad to have Ham back. Really looking forward to this one here. I'm sure Burgundy's getting everything set up behind the scene here. And keep in mind, we still have 3 more matches to come after this. We've got GG Speedrun's owner, operator, and creator and master and ruler of them all, Mr. Dino, taking on Coolio. And then after that, we've got both the 1 seed and the 2 seed in their own respective opening round matchups. CHX42, defending champ, the 1 seed, taking on Infinite Mystery, and Aquas taking on Jericho, a rookie. Infinite Mystery, a returning runner into, I believe, their 3rd or 4th tournament. Looking forward to that. But for now, we are just going to be underway momentarily. This is one of those matches you could say any outcome could happen, and I would believe you. I'm kind of wondering if Burgundy will maybe make a prediction on this one, because any guess could be right.
Hold on, I think I have a coin nearby here I can go ahead and flip.
Well, while you flip your coin, we are underway here. There will be a slight pause to get them lined up. Jack tends to have a little bit of latency with his streams, so we will get lined up on Mr. Dino's side here, and we are underway. And I will need a slightly better feed from there. We go. We had a heck of a view there. We are underway here. Ham on the left, Wedge on the right, and remember about something to note here. Jack does play, as we call them, 2-player strats. It is to allow you to come out the right door in the Mutoid Man room, so we'll be watching for spreaders on the right side for that fight. But for now, Ham out at a 41, Jack out at a 41. The difference is, Burgundy, help me.
I would say negligible.
Well, negligible
also, the coin
it
flip
is.
said heads, so I'm going Ham heads.
Ham heads. All right, we got rockets and spreaders. Good opening weapon drops. And another rocket here for Ham. Great openers here. No orbs early from our results here. Now Jack getting rockets. This is one of Jack's better abilities generally, is good rocket fire. As you can see, very tight on the movement, firing down big groups. Ham riding the spreader. So lots of weapons. Nice nuke finish for Ham. We'll have the lead, a 120 versus a 123.
Very impressive on the nuke, and as you said, those firing lanes with the rockets were fantastic. And look at Jack already taking out pretty much everything with the rockets that he has there, and also did a good job using the Razor Shield to take out those swirls.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. In a room as short as this, you don't need the protection. It's more of a weapon than a helper to keep you safe. So a little bit of a veteran move there, sly move. And Jack is really focusing on those shrapnels. And neither one's seeing that orb. As you can see, the shrapnel's piling up here. Ham's got real problems finishing them out, and Jack's going to finish up. It's going to be 208 versus a 208, so it's a slight lead for JackimusWedge and a turn in favor. Those rockets at the start buying Jack some valuable time.
Yeah, the difference between the two of them would be, I don't know, negligible maybe?
Negligible or...
negligible-ier.
Yes, these are words. All right, we are once again orb bereft into total carnage. The games so far have been very wild with the lack of early orbs. Spreaders here, Razor Shield. Ham almost took a death going for it, but managed to stop in time. Now rockets for Jack. And again, still no orbs. This is officially the latest one of the day. We're past the 250 mark. Both riding rockets right now. Jack about to run out. Rocket refill for Ham. So this is going to be interesting to see who comes out of here in the lead. That nuke could be a finisher if it's timed out correctly. And does Ham have the chance to go? Decides not to use it. Wouldn't have been the end anyway. So Jack actually builds the lead with some good rocket fire.
Yep, that is playing to the strength there. And yeah, looking pretty hefty here.
So no orbs, no option for them to use as a second firing platform for either competitor so far. Advantage Ham coming into the room does have rockets to use. And vulnerability for Jack is the opening drop. Ham collecting some prizes, gets the question mark. Jack's invulnerability about to run out, gets an extra life. That does not really help you in the easy percent run. Now rockets for Jack, so we're able to clean up those gunners.
Speak for yourself.
And the rockets indeed cleaning up for Ham. Ham picks up a foot. Finally, we see an orb. Now, can Ham get it? What a grab! That was wild.
Just a casual first orb at 3 minutes and 54 seconds.
You know, as you do. Rockets here now for Ham. Great location. This could be enough for Ham to cut some time at least and possibly make some inroads as well. Gonna use the nuke. Jack gets a razor shield. Still no orb for JackimusWedge. He will not see one on this run. He will retain his lead though. It's a 423 as Ham is having a little bit of trouble getting to the middle, and it's going to be still a solid lead for Jack. Good rocket firing again from Jack, really paying dividend. Oh, bit of a mistake here. Grabs the lobber early. Now he's going to have to dance. And he doesn't go for the spreader. And he still gets it. Oh, but he gets shot.
Oh.
And now the rocket gets sat on. Ham, meanwhile, gets rid of the swarmer. The swirl, pardon me. And he's now throwing in some shots. Let's see what he's going to do with it here. I'm not sure if he's up on ballbuster knowledge or not. He looks like he might have tried for it there.
Yeah, tried for it, but it was just that little vibration from Mutoid Man. Still trying to handle this with the gunners up front. Finally takes out the left one.
Great refill pickup from Ham. It was hidden from sight, but was still grabbable. Really just efficient fire here. Again, may not know exactly about the perfect location. A lot of knowledge has come to light in the last couple tournaments. Oh, look at this lineup from Mutoid. He lines up for a manual. That was beautiful. Unfortunately, Jack does go down, but takes the lead on that as Ham gets an invulnerability. No weapons. And now both get rockets here. Jack got grenades on the feet, I believe, before that. More rockets here for Ham. These are not the weapons you want to see. These are easily the weakest two weapons for this boss.
But compared to empty drops, you take them.
You do take him, and Ham has taken the lead. It has swung back and forth twice in here already. 3 times even. I don't know. Math is hard. Just ask Samoa Joe or Scott Steiner or something. Ham's taking a death here. Oh, but look at this. He might. Oh, will he get it?
Oh, he's blocked.
I thought Mutoid was going to move out of the way, so that gives Jack a chance here to catch up. It's basically a tie. Well, nope, still a Ham lead. And gets an empty drop. Grenades now for Jack. Might pop the final form. Does. This is going to come down to who gets weapons and who plays them better. Both have grenades right now. This is tight, Burgundy.
Oh, it was about a 6-second difference between final forms.
Oh, let's see. It's grenades on the feet for Ham. He has the weapon advantage, and he's got it.
Wow.
JackimusWedge goes orbless the whole way and almost takes the opener. What a crazy opening game here.
655
versus about a 701 or 702.
Yeah. 702.
Unfreaking believable. Jack, no doubt not a fan of the no orb thing, but you know what? It was a good race. Saw some good stuff from both, and it's just going to come down to who can clean it up, and will Jack see an orb? The longest anyone's ever gone in tournament action with no orb, was it Aquas last year? That went almost 2 full races before getting an orb. It can happen. It happens at the worst times. But we'll get them underway here for game number 2. This is a best of 5. That was only the opening game of this match. Our second of 5 on the evening. Ham takes the opener. 655 to 702. 1-0 here for ETGoHAM. Winning his return match after 3 tournaments away. We are very excited about that for Mr. Ham. And let's see if Jack can get a little better luck here, because that was not very nice of the game.
Now, game was certainly being a rascal.
I've always maintained I much prefer to see both get that early orb and who is going to play better. You just give them that early thing so that the weapon luck doesn't mean near as much. It helps, but it doesn't swing it quite as badly. So we will be underway here momentarily. Game number 2. It's a best of 5. Jack's going to strike back with a fury here, guys. I have faith in my my two-player co-op world record holder on this particular match. I feel he's going to even it up here, Burgundy. What do you think?
I mean, there's certainly a good chance for it. Jack's been playing well, just didn't get an orb anywhere in there. That's just RNG being RNG.
Well, the RNG, as we said, that's partly what makes this such a unique racing opportunity. It's a short run, and those RNG swings are breathtaking to view. It's quite the spectator sport, I got to say. So Burgundy will get them underway here, and we will see who's going to do what here. They both, like I said, played very well. Ham, not a lot of rust. Maybe doing a bit of work offline. I don't know, but either way, we're underway. Game number 2. Ham versus Wedge. Ham on the left, Wedge on the right. Let's see what we're going to see.
Let's see how tasty this matchup is between Ham and Cheddar Jack.
They pair together well, I would assume. So Jack is using a slightly different setup than everyone else, but prefers it that way. He likes to swing back to the middle as opposed to that door on the right. Personal preference. If I do have that razor shield you can use as a weapon, and if Jack had just had that one stray not go out, he would have the lead, but it's going to be ET out first at a 41 and Jack out at a 42. About 3/5 of a second, I'd say at most.
Yeah, pretty negligible.
Minuscule even. Opening drop.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that flex my big brain. Or minuscule. Either way, spreaders here for both members of the race here. They're looking for something good, and so far, not a lot. We got a foot now for Jack. Will help with the movement, chase down some drops, but Burgundy, these are not great.
No, they're pretty awful.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jack got the orb and lost it.
He gets another chance, though. So he rushed the first one. You can see him shaking his head. And we get a late orb for Ham as well. So it's 132 versus a 133.
Pretty close across the board.
So we didn't really explain this room last time. We should talk about it. Basically, there's 18 Mr. Shrapnels, the little red guys going around the edge of the room. Maximum of 4 allowed on the screen at the time. You also have a set amount of swarmers, but usually not a big deal. Did Jack drop his orb?
Yes, he did. As you were giving the explanation, I didn't want to interrupt with it, but yeah, the orb swung a little low on a soldier right at 6 o'clock and clipped it.
Oh, that's disastrous. His second orb drop, after not getting one in the opener, he's already dropped 2. He did say his movement feels a little off to him, so hard to say how it's going to line up. It's going to be a slight lead change, maybe a second total swing. But Ham, with that orb in hand, will have a chance to really grow this lead.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically 2000 Florida, too close to call.
Well, we're not going to a recount. Maybe a frame count.
No, we're not.
But either way.
Maybe a frame count, but not a recount.
Rockets in the middle here for Jack. That's going to help a lot. Jack can use those rockets to try to prolong his ability. Just fire him a little bit. Goes for the spreader at the halfway point of that rocket clip because he decided, got to go for it. Meanwhile, Ham just holding the middle here with some efficient lane fire. This is the advantage of having that option. You can just fire and keep him under control even without any weapon drops. More rockets for Jack, too.
Yeah, Jack almost getting clubbed there by one of the green soldiers, able to kind of dance around it here, and now...
Ham must have died or lost the orb. I missed it, but now orbless. And this rocket fire from Jack, well played. 3:25 out and a lead change again.
About 6.5 seconds between the two.
So we've had a lead change in one room. Actually, that's our fourth room exit, fourth lead change, I believe. Because it was Ham, then Jack, and then Ham, and now Jack. So by that logic, it should go the other way. Great opening to have that rocket here for Jack. Just coming in with those rockets, able to kill those gunners, no problem. Ham will have to hope for a drop. Gets a spreader. Nice movement through the bullets there, Burgundy. Does get an orb chance here. Gets it. Dancing dangerous. Blocks a shrapnel with it. He finally goes down. He was doing such a great job of staying alive.
Yeah, tried to go after that spreader and just got clubbed by the 1 foot soldier there.
Jack dropping another orb, so that's 3 in this matchup. Gone the way of the dodo. And Ham is holding it down, uses a nuke. Jack is just running wildly through the room right now, looking for anything. Another orb chance for Ham. Picks it up. Can maybe get back to the middle here. Rockets in the middle for Jack. What a location. He's got to be careful, though. There's a lot of danger in there. Oh, this was great by Jack.
Spreader right off the bat.
Yeah, great by Jack. He recognized that I'll use the rocket to kill the shrapnel, then get the spreader and get out. And it's going to be Jack in the lead here by, looks to be about 11, 12 seconds. Well, he got
an invulnerability.
Does he
steal?
Oh,
he dies.
He dies! Oh, no! A disaster for Jack. He didn't recognize it right away. When he tried to back off, he got shot. Now he dies again with another invulnerability on screen, so that lead is completely gone. And now he gets a lobber. ETGoHAM looking for a weapon, gets grenades at the top. And there's a spreader, but it's not a good one for Jack. Remember, he's player 2. He's still going to try to manual it, though. And he's getting a little bit here, not much. Oh, that was good. Oh, he got a lot there. Look at that. He did get a form. Will he get that grenade coming out the door? No.
Does get the second arm to pop off, though, and now some rockets. Meanwhile, first arm off over on ETGoHAM's side.
So it's about a 1-form lead right now for Jack, trailing 1-0 in this game, looking to tie it up, but one spreader's going to swing it if it lands for Ham. Lobber now for ET. That's a good weapon. Very solid. He's landing it in at least double or triple damage range, landing it where he is. Lobber's now for Jack. There's a refill, but he's ignoring it. And now I'm back because my internet's had to go out. Jack takes a death as the spreader is disappearing here, Burgundy. Looking for a weapon.
It was on the player 1 side anyway. Now an empty drop, though.
And despite that, still holding down a solid lead. Ham not getting anything here. There's a rocket, takes a death. Gonna hope for a spreader here since he did get run over. It's a rocket and it's being covered, but he can get to it. Final form, Jack.
Ham needs a spreader on the left side now and is not going to get it. Jack continuing to rain down with those lobbers and is able to take it out here.
So Jack will even up this match at 1 apiece. Probably going to be relieved to have that one as the win after that opening with a full spreader on hand and a vulnerability drop. Just didn't recognize it right away. And Ham got to the final form decently fast there, but yeah, it's too little too late at this point. So it's going to be all tied up at 1, and then we're going to be going to the ever pivotal game number 3. Because you win that one, you get 2 shots to win the match.
Yep, as our lead commentator, LOZ Cards Fan 23 would say, what was a best of 5 is now a best of 3.
It also means every little difference in the race and every little mistake is magnified, and you could say that they become far less negligible.
You could say that. I don't know
Yeah.
if I would, but you could.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Professional. All right, so we'll be underway for Game 3 in just a few moments. Ham versus Wedge here. This is living up to the billing. This was one of the ones we had circled on bracket reveal night as this is one you don't want to miss. And everyone that's here, hope you're enjoying the show. It should prove interesting. And I got to tell you, if Jack keeps up that sloppy orb play, he's going to be in real trouble. Ham did not have near the amount of drop luck that Jack did in that particular run. Still wasn't that far off. So I'll have to wait and see how it lines up.
Yep, this upcoming race brought to you by Milk. as in Brian knows how to milk a joke dry.
Yeah, yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah, that's sort of my brand.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the runners ready. Or they're ready. I'm going to go ahead and send them off.
So, chat, why don't you tell me who's going to take this game 3 here to take the 2-1 lead? Is it going to be ETGoHAM returning after a few years off? Is it going to be JackimusWedge, who has yet to have what I would say is a Jack Wedge run? I honestly, too close to call. And I'd like to say Jack, but you know what? I think Ham's just going to have a hell of a run here and get a 2-1 lead.
Just the pendulum that is momentum swinging back towards the left here.
Twirling, twirling, twirling its way towards freedom. Game number 3. ETGoHAM and Jackimus coming at you here. Entering Arena 1. We'll see if they got their setup. And they both did indeed. Jack using, again, a slightly different setup just to get the Razor Shield in a different spot. It's all preference. And he's being a little more aggressive on the left door, oddly enough. You don't see that too often there, Bergs.
Just shaking things up a little bit. I mean, we have a player 2 on the one side here. Why not go for the opposite door?
And unfortunately for Ham, had a bit of a leak out at the end there. And should be right around a 40 here for Jack. It's going to be almost a 42. So we're talking about 2nd and 3/4, something like that.
Yeah, just a notable difference, but we'll see what happens here in collect power-ups.
Paired invulnerabilities to start now. An orb for Jack. Ham, meanwhile, gets another invulnerability. Another invulnerability for Jack. So, very interesting stuff. But Jack, with this orb, should be able to get a solid lead. Already coming in with a lead. And that extra firing on the lanes is just mowing these swarmers down.
Doing a great job of holding the mid. Of course, I say that in almost commentator's curse.
Great recognition.
84 seconds in, we go to eat my shrapnel.
He realized that he'd almost made a horrible mistake, and then he corrected it, so good for him. Oh, what movement! He recognized where to swing the orb on that. The swirl pieces were breaking to the left side. He moved up to get the orb safe. Great movement there from Jack. Meanwhile, Ham gets a Razor Shield and then rockets, so should be able to control the room. And now the Holy Trinity, as cards would say.
Yep. Able to get the orb there as well. Double the firepower. Decides to wait until the last moment to pick the orb up. Probably just to be a little more precise with the single direction fire.
Absolutely. Makes the rockets last a little bit longer. So this should be the first time tonight both runners in the room have not dropped any time. Well, maybe a little bit of time there as a slightly early exit attempt from Ham, but still, both with an orb. When's the last time we had both runners in to collect power-ups tonight with an orb? It's just been kind of not the way it's been going. Ham, very aggressive on that grab. Almost gave up the orb on that. Very scary.
Well, considering that collect power-ups is the first place you can get an orb, none, but into Total Carnage, I think this is the first time.
Which is pretty wild. If I said the wrong one, my apologies. Jackimus is really holding it down. Ham is being hyper aggressive with that orb movement. Like, if you're not getting clipped, fine, but it's risky how it's going. Razor Shield for Jack here should be nice and safe. Can maybe use it as a weapon here late-ish in the room. And you know what? He's just going to try to break it on the shrapnel. He almost lost the orb. That was close to a disaster. 304 into the bonus.
And ETGoHAM decides not to use the nuke, and good idea, as it looks like we have a few more soldiers in the mix. Is going to bring about a half a clip of rockets into tank trouble.
And you know what? We're in the bonus room. It might be time for some Taco Bell and a quick little run here. Go.
Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Product 2 never fails. Jack coming in with no weapon. First drop is a spreader, but it's a terrible location. He is going to try for it. It's a risky spot. He's really and that's why it's risky. There goes his orb as Ham enters with rockets. Advantage swinging to Ham a little bit here. Ooh, missed a lot of rockets at the start there, but got both gunners before he ran out of ammo. So now Jack, using grenades and scrambling, gets a spreader, dancing through tank bullets. Should see another tank almost immediately. Gets a replacement orb. He's just got to be careful. And down goes Ham.
Yeah, got clubbed down from underneath by one of the green soldiers there, and yeah, just kind kind of snuck out of that bottom door.
So the advantage swings back here. Razor shield on the feet for Ham. And Jack's going to be out in 4:22. Rockets for Ham will help finish the room up. Let's see how much of a gap we're going to have here. Really laying those rockets in. Just trying to get to the, hoping to run him out. And he gets, well, he left one shrapnel. And it's going to be a 16-second lead into Mutoid's room. And Jack starts with an empty drop, takes a death, hoping for a spreader here. Gets a lobber, at least it's a weapon, so we can start damaging the boss. Let's see what Ham will get on the opening. It's going to be rockets, good for killing those gunners, make your life a little bit safer, but not great for damaging Mutoid.
Yep, Jack trying to do a little bit of balancing of the two. There's still one gunner on the front.
He did a pretty good job of placing a lot of those. And yeah, he finished it off with the pea shooter. Oh, he gets lasered as the movement, the vibrating laser gets him, but he gets another lobber right as he comes out the door. So no real damage done there. Still, though, the weapons are favoring Jack slightly with these lobbers versus Ham getting a lot of grenades and rockets. And right now, Ham can't get the weapon. He's just kind of looking. It was under Mutoid, never had a shot. Jack now 2 forms ahead.
Mother hen here for ETGoHAM and probably a few other mothers being noted.
I mean, that seems highly possible. Jack and Ham now both using lobbers. Jack pops the head as the arm pops for Ham. Still a 2-form lead. Continue to pour him. There's a spreader. He decides not to die. He thought it was too far away, might have been blocked. He pops the chest open. He's getting a little bit of manuals. That was some decent stuff. Final form for Mr. Wedge. Let's see if he can finish it off here. Rockets for Ham. Nobody wants to see a key for Jack. He needs weapons to damage the boss. Gets a lobber just before the treads got there, but he gets run over. Head popped for ET. Jack might finish it with this grenade, and he will. Jack takes a 2-1 lead. I would say our best played race so far by both of our competitors. Still not quite what we want to see, but they get it done because, as they say in these races, it's not about throwing down an amazing time. It's just about grinding your way through a run and winning. Because sometimes you play great and you lose, and sometimes you just don't get anything and you still win.
Or you're like me, you don't get anything and you still lose. Okay, maybe you're not like me. I don't know.
I may not be like you, but I like you, so there you go.
You're a former world record holder, and you've forgotten more about this game than I know, yet I'm somehow here in the booth. And, okay, 726, 726, we'll say.
I mean, come on, they let Joe Buck call football, so, I mean, it's not that bad. I said football, not baseball, for any of you people that might get riled up. Cards. Hopefully we can get a bracket link here for Sylvan. We are just in the opening round of the tournament. This is the 15 versus 18 seed matchup here. ETGoHAM, the 15, Jack 18. That whole range of seeds was an interesting thing on bracket reveal night. There was a little bit of controversy, if you will, around some of the seedings from certain people.
It was a thing for sure.
Apart from one another. Oh, apparently my internet went down. Hard on me.
Most certainly, although I don't have any Grey Poupon.
Thanks, Canadian internet.
All right, they're both readied up. I'm going to go ahead and let them loose here for number 4.
So yeah, we still have 3 more matches to come your way tonight. Up next will be Coolio MZX taking on Mr. Dino. And following that, we have 2 matches back-to-back involving our 1 seed and our 2 seeds. So you want to check out some of the upper echelon, or the uppest of the echelons, if you will. Be sure to hang around and check that out. Just see what kind of shape they're in. I did catch a couple hours of CHX practicing, and he looks unbelievably good from what I've seen. We're underway here. Game number 4. Jack with a chance to take this matchup in 4 games. Ham looking to force that decisive game 5. So they both get their Razor Shield again, and as noted, Jack using a slightly different variation on the manipulation. And it's going to be close here. It is going to be, looks like Ham out first.
Yeah, maybe about 2/3 of a second difference between the two.
That might be our first sub 40 of the day out of Arena 1. Yeah, it's pretty good. Opening room, sub 40 always a good time. Razor Shield for Jack, grenades for Ham. Definite advantage here to Ham. And now it's going the other way because Ham's going to get that Razor Shield. So pretty much a wash.
Yep, evens things up here.
Well, that was a wild drop. I'm going to have to do something with my internet after this. Jeez. Which means there may be a slight delay before the next match. But either way, it looks like the orb has fallen for ET.
Oh, yeah, ET has an orb, yes.
Yeah.
Is it all? And I was like, well, no, he didn't give it up. The orb's there.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good. And Jack, meanwhile, is really trying to focus up on those shrapnels. Takes the grenades. That's okay. Really just trying to force more drops. And look at this. Jack forces an orb drop.
It was planned all along. And by planned, I mean hope.
Hope is pretty much all you've got most of the time. It's going to be a 207 versus a 207. It's essentially a tie into Total Carnage. Rockets in the middle for Jack. What a present here. He can clean up everything. Jack generally doesn't use nukes. Let's see if he decides to use this one. Early in the room, decides to let it go. Rockets now for Ham. We'll also be able to clean up the shrapnel, so it'll set up nicely here for a little bit. As you can see, Jack back to maximum shrapnels, just focusing though. Shrapnels don't matter in the long run. It's all about how many swarmers you kill here. Nice route from Ham to get that spreader. Just looped around, kept the orb safe. Little less aggressive than he's been, but it works just as well. And now Jack's going to use the nuke. Did he finish the room? Not quite.
Oh.
Rockets again for Ham, and it's going to be Jack out in the best time he's had here, 3:01. Rockets, meanwhile, for Ham, losing a bit of time, but still only about 5 seconds back as we head to the bonus room. And, you know, Ham has enough rockets to kill at least one gunner, maybe 2 if he's really accurate. The opening of this room is so important, Burgundy. Let's see how they play it. It's going to come down to who can keep that orb healthy. The opening is tough. Oh, Jack got focused on the nuke, and he couldn't get to it. The shrapnel blocked him. He dies. He does get a rocket, though. And Ham is dancing dangerous in amongst everything. He has to retreat to the corner.
Jack does get the replacement orb. Ooh, a little bit of dancing to try to keep it.
And now Ham loses his orb, and he is stuck.
So does Jack.
Oh, and down goes Ham to some bullets. So this has been very dicey for both. Not the tank trouble you want. It's going to be who can just survive now. Rockets for Ham. A spreader for Jack. And Ham dies with rockets. Almost a full set. Oh, that's a disaster.
This is an Arena 3 spawn in this room, so you do tend to get a lot here.
Jack has a shrapnel blow up. Might have been intentional, maybe just couldn't reach it, but comes in with 2/3 of a spreader in hand. Where have I seen this before, Burgundy?
Can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh no, he got the grenade spawned in front as he ran up to do this.
Oh,
he went for manual.
Game.
And then he got
zapped.
unbelievable bad luck. That's the second time he's entered with a spreader and he's not been able to use it on the boss.
The game has jokes.
So despite that lead, it's essentially a wash once again here. And that next spreader could tell a lot of tales. Jack here, waiting it out. Has a bit of trouble in the diagonal fire going down, but he seems having a little bit of trouble. It could be that controller set up some rubber issues for that downright firing. Here's a spreader chance for Ham. He even backs off. He doesn't want Mutoid to go too far. This is a chance to take the lead.
Boy.
He's looking to get a glitch toy, but he gets rockets on the feet.
Oh, the sabotage.
It's basically a tie again.
Oh, goodness.
Might be Jack in the lead now. Grenades for Ham. Lobber for Wedge. Jack probably maintaining a slight lead. Grenades for ET. More the Lobber pickup now. Yes, indeed, it is still a JackimusWedge lead by, I'd say, a fifth of a form, if that. It is tight. Nice Lobber pickup from Ham here. Just got to avoid everything. Final form. Jack with a slight lead. He's got the lobbers. It's the best weapon. Ham struggling to get that last form. Now onto final form. Jack probably half a form lead.
Empty drop for ETGoHAM. Picks up the invulnerability. Spreader on the feet. Where was that a few forms ago, game? And another invulnerability.
He needs another weapon. Jack's got a lobber. I think this should finish it, and it does. JackimusWedge is going to win this matchup. 3-1, but great matchup here. It lived up to the billing. Enjoyed this one mightily, Burgundy.
Oh, most definitely. And pretty similar to last game's time, 6:43 here for Jack.
The sabotage for both in that fight. Unbelievable. Jack coming in with the spreader, going to set up the manual when Mutoid cannot vibrate when he's entering the room, and a grenade gets in the way. Meanwhile, Ham got to use some of a spreader near the door, but as he was probably going to get a glitch toy, the rockets popped up and sabotaged him there, and that was the final swing. So that is the end of match number 2 of 5 tonight. We'll take a little break here. We'll get set up, and we'll be back. For Mr. Dino and Coolio MZX.